Hello from sunny Provence. If you have one of these MTD mowers, these are both pretty much identical. One was bought in England, that one 15 horsepower I think. This one bought in France, 12.5 horsepower, but both of them pretty much identical under the bonnet. One thing that often happens, well, if it happens to you, underneath the seat, just below the battery, there is a big pulley that drives the gearbox, driven by this belt. If that keeps popping off, one thing you want to do is jack up the mower, get rid of the rear wheels, and check your two axle mounts. Each axle, or each end of the axle, is bolted on with these two bolts to the chassis. The chassis, this stuff, is quite thin steel, and what happens after time is you get stress fractures along these two bolts. And you can see this one has actually been modified with a piece of angle line bolted in to strengthen that area, and that's actually a pretty good fix, because what happens when you get a stress fracture on there, this whole axle twists slightly clockwise, and as a result of that, the pulley, which is down there, that lifts slightly and the belt pops off, and you'll find it often pops off when you go into reverse. So if you have that happening to you, you want to jack it up, take your rear wheels off, and check your two axle mounts for stress fractures. And what you can often see is this chassis will have slightly buckled up like that. And the best way to deal with it is undo the monster spring. I've got another video about how to do that. Undo the two bolts, drop the axle, straighten it out, fit some angle line like this one, or which I did on my other one, is MIG weld it, and get your axle nice and flat again. So that's what to do if you keep having the belts pop off on your MTD mowers. I'm cutting the grass with this now because it's a lot easier. But these ones are still good. They're going strong after 20 years, and they're cutting most of this. I've got about, I don't know, 2 acres, so I've got some sheep now as well. The sheep cut quite a bit for me, but otherwise, yeah, they're good mowers. Hope that helps.